Good evening, everybody, and welcome in Belgium. When I'm abroad, I always say Belgium is a complicated but peaceful country. We speak three languages. We speak French, of course. On parle le français et je salue mes collègues wallons, M. Straba et les collègues de Sion qui sont là-bas. On m'a demandé de parler français anglais ce soir, donc c'est pour votre entraînement, c'est pour votre éducation que je vais parler anglais ce soir. Wir sprechen Deutsch in Belgien. Wir haben die deutschsprachige Gemeinschaft Euper-Malmedy, die Ostkantone, will ich sagen, und Boerenbond, das Bauernverband. Ich bin Präsident und Vorsitzender vom Bauernverband, hat eine Abteilung in Mosbergen, ist eine große, eine der wichtigsten Bauernverband in Mosbergen. But so let's speak English tonight. I all welcome you in Belgium. I heard you visited the Floreries. The Floreries are the biggest indoor flower show in the world. We are very proud of it. Our horticulture, our ornamental sector is the proud of Flemish agriculture. 10%, more than 10% of the revenue of our farmers comes from horticulture, from flowers, trees, etc. And I was at the opening with the Prince on Thursday, and we had a great day. I will be there this week. I hope you enjoyed it. We have, he is the leading lady of Agri Flanders, which is an important agricultural fair in January of next year, I think, January of next year. You're all welcome to visit our agricultural fair. And we also have one in the south of the country, a very important one, Libramont, which is the I think the biggest outside agricultural fair in the world. So when you visit our country, in July you come to Libramont, in January you come to Ghent. So I will talk to you this evening about agriculture and about farmers' organizations. I became the chairman of Boerenbond 2 years ago. Boerenbond is you all got a sheet, I think, with some information on our organization. Boerenbond is a farmers' organization that has been created at the end of the 19th century. This farmers' union, it's a farmers' union, it's a lobby organization, has been created by Catholic priests at the end of the 19th century, when in Europe at that moment we lived an enormous crisis in our agriculture. It was the first wave of globalization. The steam machine had been invented and cheap grain was brought into Western Europe from Ukraine and from the United States, and it caused an enormous crisis in our agriculture and in our rural environment. And we had, as we see in many countries, many developing countries today, people fled to the cities. And the population, the agricultural population, the population in our rural areas had a very difficult time. So the Boerenbond was created as a farmers' organization on the basis of different pillars, of different values. And the first value was cooperation. We were at the Boerenbond was at the origin of different big corporations in dairy, in fruit and vegetables. Our principle was that farmers working together get empowerment and get a better situation in the food chain. It was at that time was already a very big principle. And I think in Flanders we have a very important cooperative culture in our farmers' community. We also have corporations to finance farmers. Financing farmers, the Boerenbond created a bank, and we are still in that bank today. I lived quite a difficult year last year, I must say. But I think it's important to also to work as a farmers' organization in that way that our farmers get loans, get credit to invest in their farms. And the third pillar was insurance. Insurance is very important. And the Boerenbond was very active in creating insurance, an insurance company in collective insurances. We call it in French des mutuelles, for animal diseases, for other risks in the farmers' community. The Boerenbond is in Flanders, I think, the biggest farmers' organization. There are other farmers' organizations, as ABS, which is they are based on a different political background. And then we have what I call single-issue farmers' organizations. And that's what I want to speak to you tonight. I think we are facing in Europe, the last years, a splintering in the landscape of farmers' organizations. Besides the classical organizations that defend all sectors in agriculture, the Boerenbond represents all sectors in agriculture. You have seen today horticulture. We represent the beef breeders, dairy farmers, pig farmers, animal culture. We represent all the branches of our agricultural sector. And the last years we are faced with the movement towards single-issue farmers' unions. It's much easier to defend the interest of one sector, because you don't have to take into account the interest of the other sectors in the farming community. And I think the development that we see today is very worrying. Single-issue farmers' organizations get a lot of media attention, and they are very keen and clever in using media and in creating empowerment through the media. And you as journalists, you all face this development. The politicians are focused on the short term, always. Politicians have to be chosen the next time. So they will focus on the short term, a few years. And also there, politicians give a lot of attention to this single issue, farmers' organizations. We have famous examples. European Milk Board is one example. But you also have in Holland and in Belgium pig farmers who organize themselves in a single issue farmers union. And this, for us, is a new development. A new development that is used by our opponents. Because when we defend, we are a small part of the community in our countries. You know, farmers in Flanders is 1 or 2% of the population. When the Boerenbond was created at the end of the 19th century, the 1/2 of the population produced food for the other half of the population. Today, in Flanders, 2% of the population produces food for the 98 others. And when these 2% have to defend their interests, we have to unite. We have to do it. We must do it together. And the splintering of these farmers' organizations is not in the interest of farmers.